Time to catch another ferry.
Great.
I want to give you an idea of where the journey has taken us from up to this point, because we know we've got some new subscribers, perhaps not as many as we'd like, and you're wondering where we've come from. So we started in Sydney and we went up the coast to Cairns. Then from Cairns went into Darwin because we wanted to catch a boat to East Timor. But because of the delay there, we did a little lap around the Kakadu and Litchfield National Parks, and then across to East Timor. Then from East Timor, we headed west through the west side of the island of Timor, which means east. So we headed west on east to get to Kupang, and then up from there to Flores. And now we've been continuing our journey through the islands of Indonesia. From Labuan Bajo in Flores, we headed up to Sulawesi, where we landed on Bira, and headed up to Sengkang, where we saw the floating village on the giant lake there, and up to Toraja, where we saw the fascinating funeral. From Toraja, we attempted to make our way to Mamuju, but as you would have seen in the last episode, we didn't quite make it. So your story joins us this morning after sleeping a night on the floor in these lovely people's home, where we need to continue our journey to get to a ferry in Mamuju. But as I was there in bed, I happened to notice a mysterious light peeking at us from under the door, and I had some ideas on what that might mean. Just waking up in the morning. There's been this room with the fairy lights on. I've peeped through the crack and there's a bed in there and a chair, but nobody's in there. I think that might be a dead relative's room that we've just slept the night next to. Not sure.
Time to leave the lovely hospitality of these guys up on the mountain. And head down to Mamasa.
Yep, sure. Remember I was wondering what that room was about?
Yeah.
I was having my thoughts.
Yeah.
Come here just a moment. Terima kasih banyak.
Oh.
It's their spirit house.
Yeah. Nice.
Thank you.
I'm just to be honest, I sort of make it worse for myself by putting my feet down, but when you haven't got the confidence, you just need to do what you have to do to get down the hill. Like doing this at night. Okay, I need to get into the line that Harry made. It looks like a good one. And if you come across here, maybe. Looks like a big wheel, right?
Dari, what was that town called?
Yeah.
Kami dari
Yeah. Singa.
the top.
Yeah.
The top of the mountain.
What?
Just up there.
Bawang. Saya di bawah. Oh, Singa mas.
Maybe it is Bowen.
Bawan, yes.
Ya.
Dari Bawan.
Oh,
Kami berada Australia.
ya. Dari Australia.
Ya.
Oh ya ya. Syukur. Ya, saya Singamiki. Mari
Singamiki.
minum kopi.
Kopi. No,
Oh.
no.
Must go.
Ya,
Sorry.
apa di bawah?
Sorry, Ma.
Mana uang?
I want some money.
See what? Come on. Can we just go?
Hmm?
Can we just go?
Australia.
I'll give her a little bit.
Okay.
Here you
I'm
go,
gonna
I'll catch up. She lives in a little shack by the road. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Watch me give some and then that knocked them off.
Ini wanita dari mana?
Wanita dari England, Inggris.
Australia juga. Banyak ini uangnya Australia.
But we're travelling.
Ya.
There you go, you can have $2.
Ya,
Thank
mana
you.
lagi?
Thank you. Selamat pagi.
Bisa singgah.
Hmm?
Ya, terima kasih banyak. Berapa ini?
20.000.
Oh, kenapa tidak 100.000?
100.000. No, sorry. She wants more. I said it.
Harry and I disagree on this. I think you should not give someone money for no reason.
I've watched too many movies and played too many computer games to not give money to the blind lady.
Selamat pagi.
Some of these roads compare in difficulty pretty well to some fairly challenging ones in the Victorian High Country. But the ones in the Victorian High Country are just there for four-wheel driving. These people live on this road. This is the only way in, only way out we've seen for miles. And they're doing it on like slick-tired 125s. Look at that thing. Hello, Pegasus. We made it to Mamasa.
We're coffeeed up, we've had some breakfast. Nasi goreng, of course.
Now we're headed to the coast. We're going to catch a ferry. So we got 150, 140 something Ks to get to Mamuju, which doesn't sound like much, but on these twisty roads will take a while. Take probably most of the rest of the day.
Yes.
So let's get cracking.
Let's go.
Thank you.
Thank you, my love.
Fixed it.
banana, but black. Just found a lady who just confirmed tomorrow we should come by 1 o'clock to get on the ferry. So that's 3 hours before it's supposed to depart. I think we'll, as usual, come early, but everyone seems to say it's going.
Liz is off to get us tickets because we're heading off this episode to Borneo, which is known in Indonesia as Kalimantan. But I want to give you an idea of where we're heading generally for the rest of the trip, because quite a few of you have been asking. So before we jump back to our upcoming ferry ride, the plan from once we get to Kalimantan is to go west through Kalimantan and then start hooking north so that we can cross the border into Malaysia, because on this large island of Borneo is both Malaysia and Indonesia and also Brunei. Not that we're going there. And then we're going places after that, but I don't know what those places are because I leave Liz in charge of that stuff. So where are we going after we get to Malaysia?
We will do a bit more in Southeast Asia. We've got a few more countries there. Then we'll start heading to the Indian subcontinent. Then after that we're going to go into the Middle East on an uncertain route, and then Africa, and finally Europe.
That's the plan. There's going to be plenty more disasters ahead. But in this episode or the next episode, we hate to disappoint you, but things have been going great. Bikes are running fantastic. We're not having any breakdowns. We're not making any epic blunders. So just enjoy the upcoming smooth sailing before we get back to our regular programming of us stuffing things up.
I mean, we haven't got on the ferry yet. It could be a disaster.
Banging? It's alright.
That's not louder than the banging. So I went to the ferry.
Yeah.
Oh, hello. Time to go and buy a ticket. We're back to another ferry terminal. But this one seems pretty chill. It's sunny, there's space to move. They've not got a weird queue system. So the last time Harry's bought the tickets both times so far, so I'm not sure exactly the process, but it's been pretty long-winded with a lot of, let's see the carnet, let's get pictures of the bikes, la la la. So we'll see how quickly this one goes. Oh, ferry is in the wharf, and it looks interesting. We'll see when we get on. If you can see the ferry behind me, you might see my growing suspicion that there will not be any beds on this ferry. Can you see the whole floor is like open-sided? There's a room upstairs which will be the sitting area with the bar. You know, cokes and noodles. It's going to be an interesting one. It's alright for me, I've got a mat and a sleeping liner. Harry's going to have fun on the metal floor.
That is a learning I want to take with me back to Australia, and that is, don't just sit around. Just went up there and I was like, when is it buka for motor? When is it open for motors? The guy just gets on his loud hailer and goes, it's now open. Good, let's do it then. Mattress, your room? Yeah. Room, yes. You rent a room? Yes. Yeah. 2 bed? 2 bed, yeah. Your ticket?
Oh. Wash. Things are looking up for the Riding on Eggshells crew.
Yeah, they were like, hey, are you guys... And we were like, we are. We are white. Correct.
Would you like to pay a lot more to have a room?
Yes.
Yes, we would. Yes, we would.
Yes.
So we have aircon. It is so cool. We're in like the belly of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got cabin 6 and There's like 4 berths, so we can each have 2, which is perfect.
An unplanned berth, some of the best.
Yeah. There is a desk for me to do some editing. There is plugs everywhere, actually. I don't know why I'm turning around. They're everywhere. There's a fan. This is like heaven.
This is a bit interesting, different. Hello. Everybody wants to say hello and have photos. So it's just open air with a bouncy baby. Hello. Hello, mister. Hello. There he is, my friend from before. Welcome to our dungeon.
I was just saying to Harry, we're feeling pretty lucky to be here and to have this room. You walk around the ship now and everyone's just lying absolutely anywhere they can, on the floor, all along the corridors. There's no beds or anything, everyone's just on the floor. So we feel very lucky.
Yeah.
This is a really lovely, the best ferry we've been on, right?
Yes, yeah. Of the experiences, this is the one I'd do again.
Yeah.
Because when I first read that the other time, I was like, I don't know if we're not persuasive enough, or we're not getting the right boats. But yeah, because I'd read that this was a possibility. You can rent the cruise boat, the cabins off them, and they just sleep on the floor somewhere else and make the money.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah.
So now we're going to get as much rest as we can before we arrive in Kalimantan.
The last island of Indonesia.
Yeah, we've got to do a mad dash to get to the other side of it before our visas run out. Good night.
Good night. Morning. So we are almost at Balikpapan. Had a great night's sleep. Slept basically the whole way through the night. Woke up at 8 AM. Got some coffee. It's grey skied, so it's not too hot on the boat. Just seen the harbour coming into view, so I'm thinking sort of half an hour. Just came downstairs because it's so loud up there with the engines and the generator. But we are docking. It's chucking it down. We need to organise where we're going to stay tonight in Balikpapan. But that crossing was really good. We left at about 6:30. It's not even 10:30, so about 16 hours. What did it cost us for the tickets?
Cost 400 per bike for the ticket, so about 40 Australian bucks for the bikes, and then an extra 600 for both of us for the room, so 60 bucks for the room.
But they were pretty nice with us because usually we have to go on the most expensive rate for bikes, which was $80 each.
Yeah.
So actually, because they put us on the cheaper bikes, which is the first time we've ever come through on the cheaper bikes, so we've actually got this room as well and still paid less than we expected to pay for the transit. So
yeah, to be fair, I said Golongan 3. I was like, they're big bikes, Golongan 3, which is Group 3, and she just was like, well, there you go, have Golongan 2.
yeah, they have 3 sets. It's either little motors, then they have larger bikes up to 500cc, and then bikes over 500cc. So usually we're in the top one, but
So yeah, if you were considering doing overlanding, it would be a thing to think about, which is what's the price difference when it comes to adding up all of the shipping and weights that may be going on a 250, particularly for Asia, where you don't really need a 650 out there. Something to consider.
yeah, so enough prices. We know people are very interested in stuff like that with ferries. We better go and get ready by the bikes and get off into the rain.
Woohoo!
Of a new island.
New island rain.
Got ourselves a hotel in Balikpapan, and we are sort of drying out all of our things from the rain. All of our boots and jackets and all of that stuff that was not in waterproof sections is soaking wet. Tomorrow morning we have the start of what's going to be a week of serious riding. So Borneo is the 3rd largest island in the world, I think. It's absolutely huge, and we've got to cover at least 1,700 kilometers to get to the Malaysian side, which isn't a lot in Australia, but it takes a long time to get anywhere in Indonesia. The roads are slow. We've been told the roads in Kalimantan are the slowest of the islands that we've been around, so we'll find that out. But yeah, tomorrow we're just gonna head south and go as far as we can, and then book a hotel when we are running out of daytime. For now, just gonna go to bed.
Like I said, surprisingly smooth. Thank you very much for joining this episode and for your likes and comments and even just coming by here. It really does help us out. Consider sharing it with some other people, and thank you particularly to all of our patrons, you wonderful people, particularly those in our top tier. I want to thank particularly this week Peter and Karen and Mick. Thank you very much for supporting us and helping bring all of this content to all of y'all.
Particularly. Sorry, I thought we were just saying
in the
particularly
next episode
100 times. Particularly.
We've made it to Balikpapan, and we have Ario here from Rezeki Graphics.
Yeah,
Rezeki Graphics, and he's made for us stickers. Check them out. That looks really good. That's fantastic. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You managed to make them in just one day.
Yes,
What service? Thank you very much.
you're welcome.
What do you think?
Looks pretty good for a first prototype.
Oh, I see. What needs to be changed for the next version?
Brighter yellow.
Mm-hmm.
Not much really. It looks good. They're so shiny.
Mm. We're going to get millions more subscribers when we can hand these out.
Oh yeah. At least
4 more.
4 more.
4 more subscribers.
Yeah. It's good.